Welcome back. So here we are going to be editing this picture using Camera Raw filter. Camera Raw filter is a software that is embedded into Photoshop, majorly used for photo editing. The software is in form of Lightroom and the rest. Remember, what you do, you need to convert it, you need to unlock the picture first, then go to filter menu, camera raw filter. But at first, this is how the look at how the image looks like. So you're going to be edit it, you're going to edit it and make it look more sharper. Right here, go to the filter menu, camera raw filter. So this additional feature in Photoshop is usually in Photoshop CC, Photoshop Creative Suite. It's not in Photoshop CS5 or CS6. It's mostly in Photoshop CC. Any version of Photoshop CC, you find it. Now this is the first photo. So you come to this Y so that you can see the before and after view. This is the before view and this is the after view. Then you zoom in. If you want to see the head there, zoom in. So here is for your editing. We have different handles here. We have the basic, tone curve, detail, HSL adjustment, split tuning, lens correction, effects, calibration, and presets. So I'm going to show you a few of them, how they work. The first one here is temperature. Temperature, if you want to add, make it more yellowish or bluish, that's for temperature. There's zero tint, zero to add a tint green color to it, make it tint green or into making magenta. That's it. Okay, let's go to the main option we have here. Exposure. Exposure is to brighten the image. If I increase the exposure, is to brighten it, make it brighter. Or if I decrease the exposure, is to darken the image. So I normally touch the exposure a bit to brighten it. Then contrast. If you increase the contrast to make it more thick, increasing contrast will make the pictures more thick, the color more thick. If you reduce the contrast, make it lighter. The contrast, I want the picture, the color, the red to be thicker, increase contrast. You can see it yourself here. Highlight is about the lightening on the picture. If I increase the highlight, making the lightening to be very bright, reducing it is to make it dull. So try to adjust it a bit. Shadow is the darker part of the picture. If I reduce the shadow, see the dark part will come out. If I increase the shadow, it becomes very bright. So I will not touch that one. Let me leave it at 0. White is almost similar to highlight. If you increase it, increase the whiter part of it, decrease it to decrease the dark a little bit. Then dark, I will reduce it. All those dark parts of the image will come out very dark, like the hair and other shadow light. If I increase it, it will become lighter. So I have to decrease it a bit so that it will be a bit sharper. Now we come to texture, clarity, and haze. This is one of the most important features when it comes to camera raw filter. If I increase the texture, it will make the picture very thick. To make the texture of the picture very thick, even if it has pimples, the pimples will come out very well. To make it very thick. Then clarity also work in hand with it to make it very, just for the texture, very clear. If you reduce the clarity to very blur, then to bring all those tiny information or it will bring a tiny information about the image. Then the haze also work, but to make it dark, add it dark, okay, put more very thick, or can just reduce it very light. You can just dehaze a bit of it. Then we have vibrance and saturation. Vibrance is for you to add more colorful effect to it. You're adding vibrance, making it more colorful. And saturation is to saturate it, making it black and white like this. But I don't need saturation right here. Let me leave it at 0. I don't need much vibrance, just a little bit of vibrance. So here's other basic. So all these features are very important. Take your time to learn it. It's become more easier as you practice. Become more easier. And to make your picture very important. In design, picture is very important in design. Picture is very important in design. Once you can edit your picture like this, the design will make more meaning. Then the next one I'm going to take care is tone curve. The next tab here is tone curve. Tone curve deals with the highlight, lights, darks, and shadows of an image. If I increase the highlights here, make it all those lightening part to be bright, the lighter part of the picture bright. Lights too work similarly, but most times too much of this thing, too much of all these effects are not good in an image. If it will have this place that it will work very good. Shadow, this is the shadow. But for me, this place is good. So you also have detail. Detail is to make to sharpen the image. All those little details in the image to make it very sharp. If I increase the detail here, you can see the difference. You can see the difference. If I increase the detail, you can see the difference. So it's very important. This camera raw filter is a very important feature that Photoshop Creative Suite, otherwise called Photoshop CC, carries. Any version, either Photoshop CC 2020, Photoshop CC 2021, Photoshop CC 2022 or 2023, 2019. As far as it is Photoshop Creative Suite, Photoshop CC, it carries this camera raw filter, and it makes our picture editing very easy and beautiful. The radius, try to increase the radius with sharpening, make it very sharper. Increase this detail. I want to increase detail to increase bouncing. All this effect, as you go, you will learn more about it. There are so many of them. We have HSL, adjustment, and so on. But for now, I'll just take you on basic, tone curve, and detail, which are the most important one we need for now. Later on, we can try to explore more, because learning never ends. Yeah, one person stop learning, another person start from where to learn. So learning never ends. For you to zoom out, right click and zoom to any zoom level you want. You can see the sharpness. You zoom to 33%, zoom to 12%. The original position is 6%. So that's that about camera raw filters. If you are done with your editing, you say okay. Now look at how the image will transform. That's one of the power of Photoshop. This is one of the small things Photoshop can do to transform the image from being dull like this to be very bright. And if you use this image in designing, it will look so beautiful. So that is how to edit using camera raw filter in Photoshop Creative Suite. Sorry, Photoshop Creative Cloud. Okay, yes. Photoshop CC means Photoshop Creative Cloud. Creative Suite is Photoshop CS, while Creative Cloud is Photoshop CC. So this feature works majorly in Photoshop Creative Cloud. So this one.